Good morning and welcome back to Casey Urban Farm. This video has been sitting on my computer for several months and I am finally getting around to finishing it up so I can share it with you. We put up another section of pallet fencing enclosing the front yard, and you will see Ron is using the flap wheel grinder to clean off the pallet boards that we have already dog-eared to match the existing pallet fence that we have on the other side of our yard. That's a pretty board. Next, you will see that we are discussing how to go ahead and square up the fence panel. Then you will see that we ran a piece of string along the bottom of the fence panel, and from that we can slide all of those slats down to meet the string to create a nice straight line. So when we put the fence panel up, it is going to look nice and even from the front. I do not measure the gap in between the slats when I am nailing them on, since every slat that comes off of a pallet is slightly different in both width and thickness. So it will just drive you batty trying to make it all even. So we just kind of guesstimate the gap that needs to be done. And as we're getting to an end, if we notice there's still a fairly large gap, then we'll just kind of accommodate. And it's not much different from a fence panel that you buy at the store. They are never fully even, and over time, all of the boards warp even with those. And so, you know, to make yourself crazy trying to get it all perfectly spaced is just a waste of time.
Whoa.
And you still have to do yours.
Good thing you had it where you wanted it. On the hill, you go on the wall.
Next, you will see Saoirse and Ron carrying the panel out front to put it up along the wall. We already put the post in the ground and did use some concrete in the corners to add strength. And we are using the retaining wall at the front of our property as the guide for where the fence needs to be. It is not ideal, and it does leave a fair gap underneath it, but because we are on a slope and Lucy is really good about not going under the fence, I am not that concerned about it, and I can fill it in later on with bricks. That looks good. So several months have passed since we put it up, and now it's getting nice and weathered. can see we still have some gaps to fill in. We did put some of the decorative bricks down. You saw Ron installing those in the video, and we do need to trim out the gate. But this is my pallet fence for the front yard with the step down to accommodate for the slope of the yard. Doesn't quite match the other side as far as positioning in the yard, but that is also made from pallets, and that fence is a little over 4 years old, 4.5 years old. So they hold up quite well. And this is how we were able to fence in our front yard for under $100. Most of that was the fastener for the gate, the concrete for the corner posts, and I did have to buy a couple of 2x4s for the slats to be nailed onto. And that includes from that point where the store-bought 6-foot tall fence panels start. So it was about $100 to do this. Mostly from pallets.